Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we will call the meeting to order. We have the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you, David. Any more discussion? All those in favor? Oh, go ahead.
As I mentioned at the department manager meeting, Mr. Chair, there are two bills on the commissioner warrant that are final payments for road projects. And we're gonna hold those checks until you have an opportunity to approve those final payments next week.
Okay.
We just wanted to get the checks in 2025.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carried. Human Services, Mike is not here.
Mike is not here. He's got sick kids today. And this is again, this really could have just gone under consent if I would have known he wasn't gonna be here, but this is an approval of that agreement and child support cooperative agreement. And it had already been routed, DocuSign, so it's already got signatures on it. We just don't actually have a motion from the board to approve the contract. This is a continuing contract.
Is there a motion? I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Shar. Any more discussion, questions? Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Natural Resources.
Hello. One thing for the meeting today is to review and approve an amendment proposal for added professional services for Deep Lake Park from SRF Consulting. We talked to SRF Consulting to kind of add some services for the scope of the project, and it includes design of the campgrounds, both the upper and lower, an updated phasing plan, updated park concept graphic and maps, in preparation for RFPs for trail design, and a preparation of a Greater Minnesota Regional Parks and Trails Commission grant application for Phase 2, which is due this summer. The Phase 2 would include a trailhead building with water and sewer lines, and a restroom and picnic area, mountain bike and cross-country ski trail construction, and garden campsites.
The actual scope of phase 2 is yet to be determined, but those are likely elements to be included on there.
So you wouldn't have information like size of the trailhead building or anything like that? Or?
Not currently. They're working on a design of one that would hold, 50 people?
At the last Parks meeting, we talked about the function of that, and I specifically asked the question, does sizing that for 50 people seem appropriate? So that will be the preliminary starting point to identify and the services that would be in there. We've got some new information and estimates from ICS about remodeling the old maintenance facility, which will not be included in Greater Minnesota Parks and Trails. It was excluded from that. That's gonna be our cost. That cost came in much lower than I thought it was gonna be, which is good. It's still a chunk of change, but
Yep.
we had already budgeted 250 to do that, and I think their estimate is about 3.25, so it's ballparkish. But the original scope with SRF includes bidding of and oversight of the road project, road and parking project this year. They'll finish that and then carry us through the process of applying for phase 2 of funding.
Okay, thank you.
That service garage, were the rafters good?
So I believe the rafters were okay. It's the sheeting on the rafters that need to be replaced, so.
I think the proposed scope is actually to pull the entire roof. and put a.
Yeah, it could
a
be.
post frame type roof, 4 foot on center. Just because as big as that roof is, it'll be easier for them to do with equipment than it would be to do by hand. But we'll see what that looks like.
Yep.
I went out there last week and I looked at that building and it looks like some of the, on the rafters, some of the overhang kind of a little bit.
Yeah,
warped
for
and
sure,
stuff like that. Yeah,
It
could
looked
use
like
that
somebody
place.
was poking in there to see what the rafters were like. So
Yeah, and, yeah, for sure, the eaves and all that are pretty well shot, so.
And that number, by my memory, includes insulation, running electrical, I mean, making it so that it's usable. The building is 120 by 40, and the back 40 feet is really of a different construction type than the front. So I said, well, we don't need 120 by 40, knock that 40 feet off, leave the concrete pad and leave us an 80 by 40 functional building. And so that's the number we got from ICS, which, they also gave us a number to manage that project for us, which I think would make a lot of sense.
Yep.
So that Corey doesn't have to focus on managing a contractor for that process. So those will all be things that will be run through the Parks Board. Next meeting would be February or March? March?
Yeah, March, or February. Should
February,
be,
okay.
yep, end of February, yep.
So we'll bring all that stuff there, but for right now, we're proposing an amendment of just under $16,000 for this additional scope of work. Half of that is the application for phase 2, which I'm guessing this last time we got $1.1 million. We'll probably be applying for 1.5 to 2 million in this one. And the way that they do their funding is once a project is kind of in the stream, like the Heartland Trail Spur, it's not a matter of if it's going to be funded, it's a matter of when it's going to be funded. So if we get this application in and it doesn't get approved, then we just tweak it a little bit and reapply the next time. And we had 5 phases on this project initially, but if we can take a couple of big bites in phase 2, phase 3, we might make it 4.
Are they confident they can get this done in the timeline?
Yeah, so, it all depends on the grant funding that we can get.
The application can be done
Yep,
in time.
all this professional service, their SRF's been actually pretty good lately with getting their work done, so. And then just getting updated maps, it'd be nice to get those with, contours and all that, so.
We'll be very close when we do the new phasing plan for having a graphic park map, which will be nice. It'll be a piece of material that we can go out this spring with and, when it's open and invite people out there and say, go take a hike around the lake, the trail's ready to go. And we were approved for the construction of that park shelter at the end of the driveway, so I think he was gonna bid that as an extra on that bid. So we should also have the picnic shelter at the end of the parking lot by the end of summer 2026.
So this firm will be designing the roads that be going to the RV park and all of that?
Yes,
Okay.
yep, that'll all
I
be,
noticed when I drove in there last week that, say someone has a Class A RV, kind of like a bus.
yep.
This needs just a little bit more,
Oh, for sure.
driving room.
Yeah, we've kind of got a preliminary concept. But yeah, they have really nice wide roads that they have planned out and, I think it'll work out pretty
I
well.
think there's 26 units
Yep.
scheduled for the upper. 7 or 8 maybe even 9 of them are drive-through sites.
Yeah, oh, that'd be nice, yeah.
So the issue is the first radius off the driveway, off the road, because the road is only gonna be 22 feet, plus a little bit of shouldering, right? So that the road can't get much bigger than it is without moving a lot of dirt. So that first swing coming in the main driveway and turning left into the upper campground is gonna be the big radius, but we have to size that for a 32-foot Class A or a 1-ton pulling a 40-foot
Yep.
fifth wheel, right? Because that's about the largest that somebody would be bringing in there.
why you need a firm like this to do that.
Yeah, you do. They need to have that engineering, so.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
think the bids for the road are gonna be published in January.
yeah, yep, January, February. Yeah, so it'll be good to get that done,
The other piece to add to the scope is the balance of the archaeological survey. We did what we needed to do in the development area, but we really haven't done the balance of that, so we'll, based on the findings from the preliminary, we'll find out what amount of that has to be there. The nice thing is the professional services for the planning and design are all eligible costs. And the cost for archaeological will also be eligible costs. So they'll be included in the next grant application.
Okay.
Need a motion to approve.
Is there a motion?
Yep.
Okay, Dave moves. Is there a second?
Second? Oops, go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Ted. All right, any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
all right, thank you. Happy New Year's.
Yep, you do.
Same to you. You gonna go all fishing?
Try to. Hockey takes long.
Oh.
You know.
You got 18 years to go, buddy.
All right, administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the last item is one new item and a correction to the item that we approved on the 16th. One would be, the primary one is typically the non-represented employees get the same cost of living adjustment that union employees would, but because we don't have contracts settled, my proposal is that we would set COLAs for 2026 at the offered 2026 rate. And then, which is 4%. And then when we do that, the numbers in the resolution 2 weeks ago were calculated at 3%. So these sheriff's salary, attorney's salary, and commissioner's salary, I'm showing the change from 3 to 4%. So that the motion would be to approve a COLA increase for non-represented starting January 1, and to approve the amended resolution with those 3 changes on it.
Mr. Chair, also move.
Thank you, Shar. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, thank you, Tom. Any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carried.
And the only update I would have is for those who don't know, we have a new human resources director starting on January 26th. Mary Evink is from town. She's been working in Detroit Lakes at SJE Rhombus. She'll be here on the 26th. The Robin and Jane have moved into the treasurer's office, so Mike is left all there by himself. Gina's in today, and she will be here on the 6th, which is her last day. So if you want a few minutes with Gina, I would grab them today. So we have her coming. I did post for an administrative assistant position the way that it is, just because after determining who we had coming in, I think we're gonna need to fill the spots that we had to get the work done that we need. And we will likely post for the vacant HR tech position first or second week of January, with the intent of having Mary involved in the interviews after she's here. Just try to get the advertisement and the application process going before she gets here, so we don't have to wait another month. The Human Services, Adult Services Supervisor position that Mike vacated has also been posted, so those are the big changes that I'm aware of.
When does that close?
It's right here on, posted 12/29 until filled with a 1/14 date of first review.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any other business that the board needs to discuss? All right, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Thank you, Sharp.
I'll second.
Thank you, Ted. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are hereby adjourned.
I was wrong. I thought it was 10 minutes. I thought it was 15.
15, 16.
Are we having, public safety and transportation on Friday?
We will.
That was gonna be my
Her
next
vote
question.
against,
Let me confirm with Josh and Andrea that they're gonna be available.
And they're gonna, and
Oh,
this
another
person's
one,
tying
you,
back to the fraud. It's
How about the,
Yeah.
labor negotiations for non licensed